Welcome back. Another lovely day in paradise. No rain. Anyway, just been over changing water over on our dairy block. Brendan's working the corn and rice ground. Not that we're putting rice in. And yeah, Tony, I was talking to him. He's going to bring this hard-hosed irrigator over. We're going to try and get it going. I'm just over here. We've got the pipe here that we put down yesterday, if you watched the last video. So it's run down there. So what I'm going to do is, there is a bit of water in the channel up here, so I'm just going to, the water will start in sort of half an hour. So I'm just going to, Tony came over and dug a sump here yesterday with the backhoe, and I'm just going to try and prime this pump up, and hopefully there might be enough water in the little channel here that we can flush this pipe, because they haven't been used for a while, and there was a few, well, I didn't see any critters, but there'd been critters living up them. So yeah, but plan is, yeah, we'll get this set up. Still got another couple of days of flood irrigating yet. It seems to be going all right, which is good. Just looking at the probes, I reckon 10 days will nearly start again. So yeah, it's a bit relentless at the moment. But anyway, I'll just show you here what the crop's sort of doing. You can sort of see the yellow. You know, it's basically packing up. So I'm hopeful, packing up and dying. So I'm hopeful we can at least get a bit of water on it, and it'll grow a bit taller and give it enough energy to get that head out. You know, that head's he's only just starting to come out now. I might as well pull him all out, that one all out together, and I can show you properly. So, look, I don't know what yield potential is. We could be 1.5 tons to hectare at best at the moment, on this block in particular. I do need to go out and show you the other crops, because they're actually looking pretty good still. So, but it just doesn't look like it's going to rain. There's nothing on the forecast the next 10 days again now. There is a bit tonight, but I think there's a bit of an east coast low coming in, but they don't have anything really forecast for us, a couple of mil at the most. So, and again, we're getting sort of 18, 19, 20 degree days. So that's all right though. So hopefully we get this thing going. And yeah, there's still going to be a little bit of work in it, but it's we'll try and get a bit watered anyway, what we can. So, but some of it, I don't know, like some of it, it's just going to be too late for it by the time we get to it. But anyway, it is what it is. And then yeah, hopefully planning, I've got to take another load of corn down south next week, so I might get the truck loaded and take it to town and weigh it. And then also have to get back into this air cart, and corn plantings coming along pretty rapidly. So yeah, anyway, we'll see if we can get this thing fired up. And yeah, we did, if you did watch the last one, we did service this motor and the pump, changed the gearbox oil and changed the engine oil and filters and that. So it may take a bit to get going, because we did change the fuel filter as well, so it might not start straight away. because the seals haven't had moisture on them for a while, so yeah, we might just have to put up with a couple of leaks, but we'll see how we go. The moment of truth. So Tony's just, what we're doing, we're just pulling an AB line off that little fence there for time being, so when he pulls it out, pulls the hose out, it'll be straight, and then we can use that AB line as we move across the end here. What I mentioned before, early on I think, or on the last one, rather than welding another fitting like we did at the pump end, we just belted the 4-inch aluminium pipe into the lay flat and put a couple of clamps on it, so hopefully that'll work all right. Yeah, so we haven't got water yet, so we're just getting organised. We've got a bit of a mess here. I did flush I did flush the pipe. I probably should have hooked it up and then flushed it. It's got a drain on the bottom of the irrigator there, but that's all right, it won't matter. So we're sort of ready to go. So once we'll probably just hang 5, and it's, water's only just come on, so it'll be a little bit yet. But yeah, it should. Now that we sort of know what's going on, hopefully it works all right. So yeah, we're going to get a bit of water anyway. Like, it's, you know, we got to try. You can see here where you can see the line where we had a bit leak out of a channel here. You can see the clear line of water versus no water. So just looks greener and fresher, and it's going to get that head out now. So yeah, anyway, as I said, there's not enough there to cut for hay, so we've got to just try and do what we can. The water's only just started, and it's supposed to start at 8:45, and it's now 10:45, so I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I might duck out and have a look at the crops out the back while I'm trying to kill a bit of time and just see what's going on out there. But yeah, we'll be another hour probably before we fire the big girl up. Alright, so this is just one of our dryland blocks. This is a variety called Kingston. It's our main variety that we grow now. We've switched over to it this year from Scepter, which is probably more widespread, commonly grown variety around here. We were just found with it, we were having trouble with keeping the disease out of it, so we've gone to something with a bit better disease package. Again, sort of, you can just see that it's knee high, this stuff, and it's holding on. Look, it's just starting to come out and head now. So again, the heads are probably better than what we got back where we're trying to get that irrigator going. I just had a brother-in-law who farms next door to us out here. He had a lamb get through the fence, and he jumped the fence. This paddock hasn't had a fungicide, so he just said he found a patch of rust, which is it's basically a leaf disease. It's a fungus, whatever you want to call it. I was just trying to find some for you, but I haven't actually seen any yet. So yeah, it basically attacks the flag leaf. Just starts as sort of a blotch and then spreads, and you'll get these what we call hot spots. That's not it there, but it sort of looks like a little blotch, and if you rub your finger across it, you actually get orange on it. So you get these big orange patches, and it'll eventually, if we don't spray for it, it'll eventually consume the whole paddock. So years like this where we're light on for moisture, we want to try and protect, well, most year, or any year really, but the dry years especially, we want to try and protect that flag leaf if we can. So yeah, I'll get onto Agro Matt and get him to come and have a look. It still looks pretty good at the moment. All the other wheat out here has had a fungicide when we did a wild oat spray back. I'd have to have a look, it'll be a month ago now probably. But this actually doesn't look too bad for disease. And given the rainfall we've had, we're only actually, I think, well, Dan was saying he lives another probably 5 k's north of here. They haven't had 200 mil or 8 inches of rain for the year, so which I thought, yeah, I think we were sort of around that 180 mil. So yeah, the crops, given the late start, the crops are probably looking all right. So yeah, we just need rain to sort of try and get them home now. But look, we're back. As I said before, yield potentially. This was an old pasture paddock, so this is probably, we've probably got better crop than this. But you know, we're back to out here, if we get more rain, back to a 2.5 ton average, something like that. So yeah, we'll just have to look at the budget. The budget's going to look pretty ugly, I can tell you that now without looking at it. But yeah, anyway, we'll just do what we can. But anyway, it's not disastrous just yet. If we'd still have reasonable potential if we could get some rain. Canola, it's dropping flower, so they generally say you're about 21 days after 5% flower is windrowing. We're still, I don't know what we'd be, 15%, but it's coming in pretty quick. So pods are there. There's plenty of pods here. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it finishes. Yeah, whether hopefully I can do this while I'm talking to you. Just bear with me a sec. Yep, so you can see there the seeds are forming in the pod. So look, they've still got, it's hard to know this stuff. It's worse than cereals as for yield estimates, but depends what the weather does. But yeah, she's well on her way to reproductive. Now you can sort of see some spots, it's the different coloured flower. It's a bit hard to, haven't got any here I can show you, but it's basically aborting the flower because it hasn't got the moisture to fill. So you look at that, the top, you know, 70 mil, something like that. It's basically aborted that because it hasn't got the moisture to do it, so to fill it. So there's, you know, you probably do get quite a bit of yield gain in that top bit. So I'm not going to walk any further in here. I haven't gone far off the fence line. So, but yeah, pretty clean. There's been a few aphids getting around, but at the moment it doesn't look. This little bit looks all right. So yeah, it is what it is. It's yeah, but it's going to harvest unless it comes in and rains like shit now. Harvest is going to be early. Wind rain is going to be early. So anyway, we'll manage. So the barley, it looks a bloody picture actually. It looks really good. So it's well on its way to being out in head. I'll just show you one there. It's got a nice big head on it. Now whether it fills all that, do tend to run into grain size issues, or what we call screening issues in tighter finishes, and also test weight. So test weight is actually, you know, you've got a minimum test weight. I can't remember what it is. I think it's about 60 or 62. So that's basically a hectolitre. So a litre of what the equivalent of a litre of grain weighs. I think I've got that right. So yeah, this variety Planet, we've never really had an issue with it, with test weight. And obviously once you fall under the specifications, then they start to dock you. So discount, you go to a different grade and so on and so forth. I've got the plane working here at the neighbours. So yeah, just I think he's next door brother-in-law's yeah, fungicide on some wheat. Yeah, so look, this has still got really good potential if we can get some rain. So barley is, they talk barley a 90-day crop. It's not, yeah. Years gone by, they've probably sown it late and, you know, managed to get something back. But yeah, varieties obviously have come a long way. But this stuff yeah, pretty happy with the way this is looking, but we just, yeah, there's not, there ain't much moisture down here, I can tell you. And even whether it shows up, there's a few white patches. We've got some sandy sections in this paddock, and I half suspect it may have thrown the towel in on the sandy stuff, but yield this stuff here, it could still do its 4 tonne. Just looking at it, if we get rain, 3.5, 4 tonne. Yeah, so that's not disastrous. Barley price, we're back around that 255, 260 delivered harvest, so it's back about $50 a tonne on last year, which is, yeah, is what it is. The grain market's got a bit of a gutsake. Canola has settled down and wheat's back up over 300, but years like this, thing is, here for whatever reason is pretty tight. You go further north, it's quite good. You go parts of south, you go straight south from here about 50 k's, and you know they've had 300 mil for the year. So yeah, it's just we've seemed to have been missing out here a little bit. So anywho, is what it is. Righto, more wheat. So you can see we didn't, these couple of paddocks blocks here, there's about 70 hectares here that we didn't do a broadleaf spray on it, and you can see a bit of canola from last year. That's won't be a drama come harvest time. So again, we've got crop well out in the air out here, and it looks all right at the moment. You probably, so I say, when it's dry like it is, you never want to look at the crops at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You always want to look in the morning when they're fresh and they've had a bit of dew from the night before. So what it'll basically do, if it doesn't rain again, it'll just keep dropping these bottom leaves. You can see now it's starting to go yellow down the bottom, so it's just effectively the plant will start and shut down to put, or it'll shut other leaves and that down to try and put as much as it can energy into grain fill. So again, a bit like the barley, we've probably gone a little bit hard with nitrogen out here. So we could have, again, grain size issues, grain weight issues potentially. Wheat's not as bad as barley, but on the flip side, you end up with high protein. So we'll just have to, it's in the lap of the gods at the moment. Not that I'm slightly religious whatsoever, but yeah, it's we just need rain. That's the long and the short of it. Canola up the back there, I was a bit concerned about it. I'm not going to go and look at it. It was very late to flower, and it's in full flower now. It hasn't had a fungicide, and I don't know, given the weather, how dry it is, that we'll worry about putting a fungicide on it. We'll just run the gauntlet. I don't think it's cost effective. We've effectively just put the queue in the rack with inputs now. I might put a fungicide over that other paddock, but I'll do it with the ground rig. I'm not going to do it with the plane. But yeah, we're not, apart from the irrigated stuff, yeah, we're not going to, these dryland ones, the next time we'll be in here is with the header, hopefully. Yeah, so at least here, you know, biggest bloody thing with hay, we do have the equipment to do hay, but it's the market. And yeah, it's having a market for it because it's so good in other spots, you know, not that far away, as I just said before. There may not be a very big hay market, and hay makes me nervous. Like, getting paid for it's just can be a real shit show at times. The only time I've ever had trouble getting paid for stuff is hay, and you know, we had stuff that took us 2 and 3 years to get paid for. So yeah, it doesn't, it makes me, I don't mind making it for people, but yeah, making bulk acres of hay and then trying to sell it, and we can only use so much ourselves. Like, that's the thing. So yeah, that's a bit of a crop update anyway. Long and the short of it, we need rain. We still do have reasonable potential. You know, these crops could still do, you know, if you had 50 mil at the end of the week, they still could do 3 tonne. Realistically, we're probably back around that 2 tonne. So at that sort of money, we're not making any anyway. Yeah, we probably won't ever break even at that with our input costs. So yeah, we'll just have to see how it plays out. But at the moment, yeah, probably the best thing to do is not to keep looking at them. Just yeah, look at the irrigated ones, and they're nice and green still. But yeah, anyway, it is what it is. We've been in this position before. We've been in worse than this before. So you know, we're not putting. We've had livestock on crop before, just purely because it didn't rain. So we're a long way off that yet. You know, hopefully we'll get a harvest of some sort. But yeah, it just doesn't. It's set really fine. Doesn't look like it wants to rain. So anyway, we'll go back and see if we can get this irrigator going. This is a paddock we did winter spray clean on it, so you can see the dead weeds and the green lucerne. So we've cut hay off this paddock the last couple of years, but we've got a bit of work to do here before we look like cutting hay off it. So we'll get a good graze off it probably. But yeah, the lucerne's just not advanced enough. It just, again, if it rained and we get the stock off it, we'd get a crack at it. But yeah, anyway, the lucerne is creeping away. But yeah, we just again, we need some rain. Alright, back here. Sticky underfoot here. So from what last time, and I've buggered up here because I've been having trouble turning this monitor on. I wasn't sure what the go was, and I found a little black grommet the other day. I didn't know what it was, and it goes on the push the on-off button here to give it a bit more length. So I've actually got to take that cover off to be able to turn that on. So just hang on. Good to go. I don't know where that thing is. It's in a pocket of a pair of jeans. I need to go through all my jeans and find out where it is. So we'll let this load up and then we'll head out with the tractor and pull this hose out and see where we go. Alright, so we'll pull it in, pull it out and see where we go. What I might do, I've got the counter here as well. I'll set that back to 0 for a minute. We'll see what it does. So we've got the GPS up on the screen. What are we doing here? What do I want to do? I'll turn that one off. Give it a minute to work out what it's doing. Not sure why our angles. Just need to give the GPS a minute to load. It's still only got 3 bars up the top here, so we'll give it a second. It'll find itself. So I've just got my counter wheel here. I'm just going to walk back and counter back. We sort of not 100% sure what we've got on the hose reel, whether it's the full 340 metres like it's supposed to, or it could be a bit shorter. So I just thought, I'll bring this out and run back, and we'll get a bit of an idea of what we've actually got, so we can do a bit of working out. So we're actually missing 100 metres off the hose reel. So we've only got 240 metres of hose, which is fine. It's better than nothing. I actually, because I walked back, I had the counter wheel with me in the tractor. I left the tractor there at the sprinkler and walked back, and I picked Tony up, and we just went down to start the pump, and I'm like, better move that tractor, otherwise it'll blow the back window out of the tractor. So I've just run him down there, so he's just bringing the tractor back now. Anyway, oh, he's a rock. It is a rock show here, I can tell you. Alright, that was a bit of fun and games. So we've got it going. We're just having trouble with the old pipes and the rubbers, so I need to try and get some rubbers. Just a few of them have perished and they're not sealing that well, so we can only run about 90 psi at the pump. I just tried to go to 100. I thought, oh, I'll just give it a bit more, and of course it's with the crook rubbers, it blew a couple of pipes apart. So I'm gonna duck home and have some lunch. It's, what is it, we're well after 2 now, so, and I've got a water bottle with me, I'm tonguing for a drink, so I'll go home and grab a drink. But we've only got about 60 psi at the irrigator, which we're still getting a spread of about 60 metres from side to side, so that's about what we were getting the other day. So I'm just gonna, it's better than nothing. I have slowed it down. It's only doing sort of 25 metres an hour, and again we've got about 240 metres, so that's 10 hours roughly to roll that back in. So midnight, that's gonna suck. Anyway, we'll see how we go. I will slow the water down a little bit. We've got 3 megs coming out of the outlet. We'll just bring it back to probably 2 is probably going to be enough, because then if something goes wrong, we have a drama or something, well, it's we haven't got a heap of water we're going to try and do something with. But I'll just look at this thing while I'm here. There we go. You can see there's a few leaks and that sort of stuff, but I'm not super concerned. We're getting most of it. So it only just started again, but it's around the 25.9. You can see that. So it'll settle down in a minute. We've got to go out that way, so we'll duck up and have a look at the irrigator on our way out. Look at it there. Hopefully you can see that all right. I probably should get out. Like, it is throwing it out a fair way, so I need to get a rain gauge and just get a bit of an idea of what we're putting on. But look, anything's going to be nothing. Thanks to, I can't remember who it was that pointed out, just with the stream break, it was flipped over the other way. So you can, I'll just show you. It was just running a constant stream the other day when we first set it up. And it's just got this little arm on a cam here. Just on a cam there, and it just breaks the stream, so it's not sort of hammering the ground. So anyway, look, if we can get some rubbers for these pipes, we just know we can't run them too hard. We've got a couple of split ones. There's a split one back at the, it's got a little, the aluminium's got a split and it's got a dent in it, and it's actually split it. So yeah, so, but it is walking along there quietly, so I think we'll leave it at that 25 metres an hour. I will get a rain gauge or something, because it looks quite wet here on the ground, so yeah, don't know, it's going to be slow, but it's going to give what, you know, we can give what we can a drink, and you know, you might jag a thunderstorm or something at some stage, but yeah, we had to try. So just been to town, try to get some O-rings for these pipes. They're a funny sort of thing, and of course, being about a 1985 model or 80 model, they could be a bit tricky to get. So guys in town, we're going to make a few calls for me and just see, and I did have a quick Google on my phone. The O-ring I've got here does have a number and that on it, so when I get back near the laptop or whatever, a bit of a Google and just see. So yeah, just went to the gym as well. Missed the gym last week just with shearing and irrigating, and yeah, so just trying to get not that I feel like doing it, you never seem to do. And one thing that frustrates me about going to the gym, you always feel like not going to the gym beforehand, and you always feel quite good afterwards. So just that motivation to keep going. So yeah, just heading out now. I just had the guy that we bought the farm off, who's still living in the house. He just said there's a bit of a water leak in one of the pipes, so we'll go and address that, and then I've got to move the floating pump to a new section. I've got Tony to pull the door on the channel for me before he knocked off to send the water around to the next section. So yeah, well, we've got a whisper of daylight. There is a few storms getting around. While we've got a whisper of daylight, we'll get this pump shifted, and even if we're going to come back later and start it, I'll wait for the channel to fill up. Yeah, but it's, yeah, this hard-nosed irrigator, I don't know what we're going to do with it. It's going to be a bit of a pain in the ass because it's, I don't know what time during the night it's going to finish, so I'll have a look. We did slow it down. When I did the loosen the other day, it was at 30 metres an hour. We did slow it down to 25 metres an hour. I think I did say that before. So it'll be about midnight at a rough guess. So I'll just have to, yeah, just going to have to wait and see. But whether I get up at midnight and go and have a look a little bit before or something and see what it's doing. So the joys of it. I can actually, I think, put, and I probably need to speak to Daryl. I keep calling him Daryl, the turbo reel. We can actually put a SIM card in that monitor, so we might actually, it might be worth a phone call, so we know what's going on. Or yeah, I'm just trying to work out how I can get a bit of telemetry on it, even like a 12 volt security camera with a SIM card in it. So at least then I could set it up there, even on a tripod or something, and just have it looking at the reel. And I can gauge, get a bit of an idea without having to drive over there in the middle of the night to see what's going on. So anyway, we'll see how we go. But yeah, it'd be good if we jagged 25 mil in a thunderstorm. Anyway, we'll get out here and see what's going on. Yeah, so one of the pipes had come apart. I don't know what the go was, but anyway, managed to get it back together. Wonder why your back's buggered. Fighting that sort of thing. Anyway, so yeah, just letting the pump build up pressure again, and I'll run it up to revs. So again, we're only running at about 90 psi here, just so the pipes handle it. But it seems to be putting out, you know, we're getting our 60 metre spread, as I said. So a bit of lightning and thunder around actually. So probably not ideal to be playing with aluminium pipes out in a thunderstorm. The motor's done, but it runs pretty sweet actually. So starts as soon as you hit the button, and yeah. So again, we've got a few. I'll just show you. There's one here, just where the pipes have been damaged, and we've just got couple of little pinholes. So we're getting a little bit of irrigated area in these other ones. You got to laugh. You do have to laugh. Anyway, we'll go over and shift this other pump now, and hopefully we don't get struck by lightning. So again, we're getting 60 psi at the irrigator, so not too sure how well you can see it, but yeah. Pretty heavy little shower, this one, so I might postpone shifting the pump and just go home for an hour and see what's going on. Oh, those storms of... what's that? Oh, it's better. Sort of. Storms are past. There are a few more. Quite a lot of lightning and that down to the south from here, and obviously the west. What's going on here? We're leaking. Really? Not sure what's going on there. So yeah, I think there was actually about 5 mil in it. So try not the camera so you can see me. Yeah, 5 mil. So I've just come down now, just went home and had a bit of dinner while it was raining, and I'm just going to shift this pump now, and then we'll go back over and I'll just check the irrigator and see how the pipes are going there. Hopefully they settle down a bit. They seem to be as they get a bit of moisture back into the seal. They are, yeah, not leaking as much, so yeah. Anyway, we'll just hopefully hopefully we can get a few more seals for them, replacement ones, and they'll be alright going forward, because we'll keep it running if we can. It'll keeps doing what it should be doing. So anyway, I might wind this one up. I'm going to shift this pump. So yeah, you saw what I did last night. So we've got to go to the opposite end of the farm now. So I'll have to yeah, hopefully not fall in again like I did last night. So anyway, thanks for watching. Pretty busy, plenty happening. But yeah, we'll see you next time. Bye bye.